Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. We're going to go over some Bitcoin news. We do this every single day. If you guys are new here, welcome. Hit that like button. Smash the subscribe if you wouldn't mind. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and Binance CZ possibly seeing jail time, which is kind of crazy. Huge gains from 2023 to 2024. We're going to see how that goes. And then Kucoin got smacked with $22 million settlement, and they're getting banned from New York. That's crazy, right? This just never ends. It's always exciting. All right, let's use in the chat. Sorry for being a bit late. I actually had to fix some of my etc MC nodes. Pain in the ass when Windows just restarts the PC for no reason. I don't get it. Anyways, all right, let's see what you guys are up to here and who's in the chat. If my mouse wasn't going absolutely crazy right now. Hold on. All right, there we go. Man, All Set Miner, what's up, buddy? We have Leo Lustig, Nerd Beast, Trade Like Snipe, what's up, buddy? Automatic Beats, let's see. Steven Cicero, Miss Pocket Change, good morning. Royce's Adventure, good to see you. We have Nerd Beast, Carl Coat, Nick, what's up, man? Blaine, good to see you, buddy. Ted, my man. Mustard, good to see you. I Need Money. I absolutely love that name. And then Mr. I already said Steven Cicero. All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's see what we're looking like today over here in the market. All right, Bitcoin 41,457. We have Ethereum 21.95, just under 2,200 bucks. But Ethereum's been holding pretty good, actually, if I do say so. It looks like a bloodbath, but it's really not too bad. Kaspa still over 12 cents. I mean, it's crazy to see everything in red, but nothing's really moved too much. You know what I mean? Dogecoin still at 9 cents. That's still a good buying opportunity, at least in my opinion. We have LTC still at 72 bucks. Again, another good buying opportunity. Let's see. Nothing really sticking out at me, to be honest. XRP 60 cents, BNB 251. Let's check out crypto bubbles. This is on the week. Everything is or a lot of things are green on the week. Let's check out the daily, see what the biggest loser is. Looks like this bonk got bonked over here, 21.6%. It is ranking 98. I can't believe it's still in the top 100 though. That's crazy to see it still in the top 100. We have let's see, what's elf, what the hell is this? What is this? 92. I've never even heard of this coin. 8 cents, 83 cents. Weird. Elf. That's such a weird token. FTT, I still don't understand this. 8.7%. I wonder if they're going to the same jail. Mr. CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried. Just going to be a giant circle jerk. All right, let's check out Fear and Greed Index 65. Everything says greed, but realistically, this is still kind of neutral to me. Let's check out the top 10 coins by coin market cap. I know I'm speeding through this. I just want to get this out of the way. We'll get to the news and then we can chat amongst ourselves. We have top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, Solana, USDC, Cardano, Lido Staked Ether, and Avalanche is still in 10th place. Look at this. We have Dogecoin down in 11th by about 700 million. That's what it looks like. 700 million or so. Kind of crazy. Dogecoin's been in the 10th spot for a long time. We have Shiba in 18th, Litecoin in 19th. Let's see, Bitcoin Cash in 22nd. We have Kaspa still in top 30 at 29th place. We have Ethereum Classic 28th and Monero 27th. Not too bad. I honestly think we're going to see Kaspa have another run up. At least I hope so anyways, for the sake of my KS zeros. Speaking of that, let's get into the mining stuff. Looking over here, this is the mine the ASIC rather. We have the WindMiner K9 still. Let me zoom in a little bit. Actually, you know what? That's fine. I don't like that. WindMiner K9. We have $138 a day. Man, have these even sold? Has anyone bought one of these? Anybody know? Because I haven't heard of anybody actually owning one of these K9s. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys have had it. Let's see. Noodle says CZ is not going to jail. They're just violating his pockets. I don't know. I think he's going to see jail time, to be honest. They locked him down into the US. We'll get into that in a second. But anyways, WindMiner K9, 10.3 terahashes, $138 a day. We have the KS3, 8 terahashes at 106 bucks. The KS3M is making $77. The KS2 makes $25.63. Again, this is at 10 cents kilowatt hour. You guys know I pay closer to 30, so it's total ass. We have the KS1, 12.82 cents. Let's go down a little bit. Check out the X16Q from Jingle Mining if you guys are interested. Wow, this is the first time I've seen Octaspace actually take place of ETHW or ETC or ETHF actually in ZIL Interesting. $5.73 a day. Maybe I have to get back over to Octa. Let's check out Octaspace real quick before we move on. All right, let's see. Octa. Dude, I hate that. What the hell is this? I don't even know how to say that. What is happening right there? Let's type this in again and not hit enter this time. Actually click on it. 79 cents. It was higher. Down 4.9% today. Octaspace. Let's see. 30 day. Real quick. ETH-W and ETH-F must be taking a little bit of a dump. That's probably why. But yeah, it's typically been floating around 80 cents for the last 30 days. Let's go to 180. All right, so it's been down a little bit. 50, 60. Oh, good thing I wasn't mining it or paying attention to it, because I was in it like up here. Interesting. Well, it's still 80 cents, so not too bad, or just about 80 cents. Pretty good. All right, scroll down a little bit. We'll check out the Ice River KS0 Pro, looking like $2.62 a day. These things just get worse and worse, unfortunately, with the price of Kaspa. It isn't helping, and the hash rate's probably absolutely absurd right now. Yeah. Jazzminer X4Q. We have Octaspace again on the top of the charts there. $3.20 a day. Let's check out Carlson coin. Everybody's GPU miners are all excited about this. Looks like it came back a little bit. It was at 7 cents yesterday. Get away from me. 7 cents yesterday, and now it's at 9 cents. Man, I thought Brave Browser was supposed to pop block ups. What's going on there? There's better forget Octa, says Steven Cicero. He's so selfish. Selfish person. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, let's check out let's see what other coins you guys want to look at quick before we get out of here, before we get into the new stuff. Drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank? Actual quote. Let's just look at Kaspa quick, see how Kaspa's actually doing. Again, it's down 2.5% on the day. It says still at 12 cents though, to be honest. Not too bad. The 30 day Kaspa's been holding pretty strong for about 30 days. It's almost 30 days, literally. It's been holding up around 12 cents. It's pretty impressive for a coin that had such a run up so fast, you know. Oh, Zephyr. You know what? Zephyr's a good one. Look at Zephyr. Too much. What am I doing? Oh, it's YR. Sorry, I don't look at this coin ever. $21. What's $21.93? Really? That coin's worth that much? Interesting. That's really neat. I didn't know that, actually. Oh wow, look at this run up. No wonder everybody was like FOMOing in, huh? November 2023, $50 almost, or did hit 50. Damn, that's crazy. And this thing's still up over $25. That's nuts. ETC POW, you're right. That's another one I wanted to look at, because I need that. That actually applies to me. $1.83. Damn. Terrible. No, it's all right. It's really not that bad, to be honest. This thing started off like, let's check out 30 day quick. It started off way low. It was over $1. It was $1.17 30 days ago from today. So it's still up overall. Let's check out the 180 day. Like, look at this. It came out almost $1, went down to 27 cents. I mean, this is 180 days ago. And then actually wait, September, let's see, 1 year, is that it? I think that's the whole chart. Yeah, so it came out around $1, went down to about 20 cents, and now it's up to $1.83. That's still pretty good, realistically. That's really good. All right, let's get into the new stuff, or let's real quick just check out hashrate.no and just see. I like to scroll through this, not really touch anything. I just want to see what the top coins are for cards basically here. And it looks like Carlson's still pretty much taking the cake on all this. What is this one? RTH. What the hell is RTH? Ethereum. Dude, people need to stop forking Ethereum. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. I know this coin's been around for a bit. I've never seen the logo though, but yeah, I don't know. Just let it die, people. Just let it do its thing. Ethereum's not going anywhere. Stop trying to split it. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Living off the past. Tech Hustler, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. All right, let's get into this. We're gonna start talking about Binance founder CZ will be going to jail, says the CFTC chair Rustin Benham. Is that how you say that? I don't even know. Anyways, let's get into this, guys. Hit the like button. Appreciate you all. I am tired this morning. I apologize. Let's do it.
Back, everybody. He is pushing for more power to police digital assets and says that nothing has changed since the collapse of FTX. Joining us on set right now is CFTC Chairman Russ Benham. And Chairman, thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Becky. Good to be with you.
Got a lot to talk about, but why don't we start on this note?
I've never seen this guy before. I don't know if you guys have.
We had a guest who was here earlier, Jeremy Allaire from Circle, and he basically said one of the big problems they're still facing is this turf war to figure out how digital assets are going to be policed.
Yeah.
It does not feel to me like much progress has been made on that front. It's crazy how long this has taken to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a bit longer than I would hope. We've talked about this on several occasions over the past couple of years. And I think members in Congress are trying to figure out the landscape. We have a lot of regulators in the U.S., both on the market side and the banking side. But ultimately, I've said this for a while, there is a gap in regulation, and Congress is going to have to step in and really overcome this feeling of not wanting to legitimize the technology and seeing this as not something that's tenable or sustainable. I think
it's here.
It's here. It hasn't gone away, and we're seeing it with the price of some of the bigger coins. And there are issues around regulation in terms of customer fraud and manipulation, but then some of this illicit activity and terrorist organization use, I think, should be really concerning for members of Congress and all of us as Americans, quite frankly.
I mean, that seems like an easy bipartisan fix, but just knowing how politics works, you're probably not likely to get a clean bipartisan issue with that without weighing into the areas where there is a bunch of argument back and forth.
I kind of view this as like a three-legged stool. You have the AML KYC issues, which is really around the illicit activity and the terrorist financing. You have the stablecoin issues, which I'm sure Circle and Jeremy were speaking to you about. And then you have the market structure issues, which is very important to me as a market regulator. And I think a lot of momentum has been around the AML KYC because of some of this information.
Wait, back that up, around the what?
The anti-money laundering and know your customer.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and that really goes to the heart of some of the issues that we've elevated at the CFTC around Binance and things that they were doing. But a lot of members are very focused on that. I'm very focused on markets. There's a lot of focus on stablecoins.
What do you see as the distinction between the way you think about crypto and the way Gary Gensler thinks about crypto?
Well, you know, we have the products trading on our markets, and I think really, and we've talked about this in the past, it's a matter of what is the investor, what is the buyer of the tokens getting with its purchase of a token, whether it's Bitcoin, ETH, or anything else. And, you know, I've said this very clearly. I've said it many times. I stick to what we have as the legal precedent and what we're seeing on our markets. And, you know, under existing law, many of the tokens constitute commodities. And under this rubric, there is a gap in regulation, and I need Congress to step in. And the fact of the matter is, we've literally been talking about this for years, and we still don't have a regulated environment or a regulated entity.
It's crazy.
But like when you guys get in a room together, is it like a brawl, or is it like we completely agree and we're totally simpatico and it's all cool?
Look, I'll use this stage to just dispel any of that rumor or any of that myth. We get along quite well. We have shared values and shared interests in protecting markets, protecting the U.S. financial ecosystem, and then ultimately protecting customers. It really is figuring out how existing decades-old law fits within this new technology that seems to be changing and ultimately needs a new way of thinking around policy and legislation.
But you guys aren't going out to lunch or dinner together, are you?
We have a great relationship. We're very busy. If we could, I'm sure we would, but things are fine.
But could I just ask what happened with Binance, with the settlement that came out? I mean, it's shocking, the stuff that you guys found, that you had them dead to rights on admitting. And it feels like CZ is getting off with a slap on the wrist relative to Sam Bankman-Fried. What happens? What's the difference between the two?
Well,
I know he wasn't stealing customer funds.
Yeah.
But the stuff that he was admitting to doing, flouting law intentionally, flouting U.S. law, it was pretty extreme.
Well, look, we have over $4 billion in fines on the criminal and the civil side, CFTC, Justice, and Treasury. Obviously, there's the criminal side, so he will be going to jail. The sentencing will be within a bit of time. So I think... It
was loud as shit. It scared the hell out of me.
Law enforcement, both criminal and civil, we work together. We feel like we got the bad actor here, and it's sending
And you think he's going to? You think he's going to jail?
Look, those are the charges. We'll obviously see what...
I know, but he's got to be in the right jurisdiction so you can take him to jail if you want to take him to jail.
Is that part of the problem? Is he was in a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States, so if he doesn't agree to it, it's going to be a lot harder to pin him down.
Look, I don't want to talk about the criminal side. We were focused on the civil side. There's a lot of issues, but I think we got to a good solution, and we're very proud of what we were able to accomplish collectively as a U.S. government. Bring this.
Well, that was weird. They just cut him off. Anyway, so like typically, right, what they ended up doing was they're holding him here, so he can't go anywhere. So he's stuck, right? He's stuck in the middle of I don't know, whatever. But the biggest thing here was for him the fact that they had the Binance US, right? They had that little branch there inside the US that was, you know, now I think it's not even an off ramp. It's just a crypto only exchange, if I'm not mistaken. They did not split that up from actual Binance, which is the reason that the US was able to go after everything as a whole, Binance as a whole, versus just the US branch. Do you know what I mean? So he kind of dropped the ball on that one, Mr. CZ himself. But all right, let's listen to Anthony Scaramucci. Sees huge returns on Bitcoin in 2023. Let's see what he has to say over here. Guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you all.
So this big run for Bitcoin, first of all, we should note, I mean, it's played a pretty big role, I would imagine, in your 2023 returns. What's performance been like for Skybridge this year?
So our core fund, which is sort of a diversified multi-strat, is having a very good year. It's up about 25%. Our coin fund, which has things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, some Solana, things like that, is up about 130. Obviously, our Bitcoin fund's probably up 127. These are returns as of last night. But listen, I had a difficult year last year, so I say all of those numbers with great humility. There's lots of volatility in the market. While I do think that the ETF is coming and likely coming the first or possibly second week of January, a lot of strange things have happened in the world of digital assets. So, but I will say this, even if we get rug pulled by someone like Gary Gensler and they somehow pump the, you know, where he's the proverbial Lucy to us in the industry as Charlie Brown, I don't really think it's going to matter. I think the exponential growth of wallets and the exponential adoption of Bitcoin globally is going to push prices higher into 2024.
I mean, one of the things I think, and our audience asks us as well, is, well, there's a lot of talk about crypto and a lot of talk about Bitcoin, but what kind of exposure should I have? I mean, you're somebody who's been watching the markets for a very long time before you even considered entering the world of crypto. Can you give our audience just some general context, for example, at how much Skybridge has committed or invested in something like Bitcoin?
Well, the problem is if you put a 5% position on, it goes to, say, up 130%, you know, you're sitting with a 12 to 13% position. And so then the real question is, do you cut your position as a result of the fact that it's growing? And that's reminiscent of what Warren Buffett once said, I wouldn't trade my Michael Jordan for 5 other players and call it diversification. So we like it. If it becomes more concentrated in our portfolios as a result of appreciation, we're okay with it. But our starting point was 5%. As it relates to an individual investor, when I speak publicly about this, or I was recently in Naples, Florida, speaking yesterday, I say 1 to 3%. If you're going to be aggressive, possibly 5, but 1 to 3% is enough exposure where if we're right, it will impact your portfolio positively. It will offer some lack of correlation to some of the other assets. If you look at monthly returns this year in Bitcoin, even when the S&P was not doing well, Bitcoin did well. And it does have, over time, I think, a decoupling effect to the stock and bond market. So again, I'm making the case that this is a store of value asset. This is effectively digital gold. And Bitcoin's got a lot of room ahead. But again, small pieces for individual investors is what we've recommended.
I want to build on that. I mean, obviously, if we could all forecast where we'll be in a year, you and I could do this conversation on our mega yachts, respectively. But for investors who are curious about where Bitcoin goes from here, what's your forecast on where it will be trading a year from now?
Well, I mean, the one thing I've been incessantly right about is being wrong. Okay, so I said 2 years ago, I thought Bitcoin could trade to $100,000 a coin. I do think it's going to reach that, but I was obviously 2 years late. I think the more important thing for people is this is a buy and hold strategy. I begged investors last year. We were down last year as a result of our Bitcoin position. I wasn't a genius in 2021. I wasn't as dumb as we looked in 2022. And I would just recommend to people that they hold it. But, my friends like Tim Draper or Kathy Wood, who studied this very closely, see a $250,000 to a $500,000 coin. And I just point out, if I'm right, or if we are right collectively, that this is digital gold, that's still below, in terms of market cap perspective, of where gold's trading. So that would make Bitcoin a $3.5 to $4 trillion asset when gold is a $10 trillion asset. So I don't see why it can't get there. But it will come with some volatility, and it will require people to be patient. We're having a banner year this year, arguably the best year that we've had in the history of Skybridge. But that was after a really bad year. So I just cautioning people to be patient. It's an early asset. It's early in the adoption cycle, but things are moving exponentially, and I would recommend people to stay the course.
Anthony, as much as there is a growing belief that institutions are increasingly backing digital currencies, I'm sure you saw JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon's latest comments in D.C. this week. And Dimon, look, he's previously used words like fraud and Ponzi scheme to describe digital currencies, but he told lawmakers...
Pet rock.
Well, indeed.
He
compared
Bitcoin as a pet rock, Mr. Jamie Dimon.
He told lawmakers he'd shut down the crypto market if he was in government.
Right.
What did you make of those comments?
Well, I mean, he's one of the smartest people in the industry, so he obviously knows he couldn't shut it down. It's a fully decentralized network, and he also knows that a lot of the activity that's happening in the digital asset space, specifically Bitcoin, is happening around the world and not just here in the United States. Moreover, the Chinese Communist Party, that's an authoritative structure in China, banned Bitcoin and banned Bitcoin mining. While 10% of the mining is still happening in China, and at least 15% of the transactions. So
isn't that crazy how they banned it over there? But yeah, like literally every ASIC is made over there. Like there's still, like, they have I think YouTube's banned over there too, but there's still YouTube channels. Like it's crazy.
He knows this, but I also understand where he's coming from. He's in the largest traditional financial services company. It's arguably been the most successful, and it's heavily regulated by the people that he's speaking to, particularly Elizabeth Warren, who's effectively the president for financial services. Seems like the Biden administration has ceded power to her, and it's very clear that she hates Bitcoin. And I would caution her on that, because I think it's part of the future. And it worries me that somebody like Professor Warren or Senator Warren is not doing the homework on something like this. She's supposedly for the unbanked.
She sucks.
Bitcoin is a mechanism to help the unbanked.
Let's be real. She's awful.
And she's supposedly progressive. There isn't anything in the financial services environment more progressive than Bitcoin. So I would encourage her to do her homework. And I'm confident that Jamie, when the regulatory environment gets a little bit more sanguine, will change his tune. But I understand his position and where he's coming from. He wants those regulators off his back. But the follow-up question should have been, well, Mr. Dimon, I appreciate that sentiment, but how much money are you guys spending on researching Bitcoin? Because you're putting out these very bullish comments from your research department at JP Morgan. So how much money are you spending there? And I understand that you created your own coin, the JP Morgan coin. What are you deploying on a yearly basis in terms of capital, human capital, investment capital, and otherwise into the digital asset part of your investment bank and your commercial bank? And obviously they didn't ask him that. He made headlines with what he said. And of course it didn't affect the price, because people know the truth underlying those statements.
Meanwhile, just a reminder before we let you go, we only have about a minute left for our audience. FTX, the founder Sam Bankman-Fried, convicted of fraud. FTX's venture arm had acquired a stake in Skybridge. You had wanted to buy it back, but you'd been navigating the bankruptcy court process for FTX. Is there any quick update you can provide on that?
Real quick, has anybody been following like Sam Bankman-Fried? Like where is he in jail? Is he still like, has he been like actually thrown in jail? I'm assuming he has been put in his permanent situation, but I don't know. I feel like he's just gonna kind of fall off and he's gonna get out early and no one's really gonna know about it. Is anybody else in that same boat? Let me know.
Unfortunately, no update. I mean, I think it's they've got a ton of assets. This is a smaller asset for them to
Suicide
deal with.
watch.
Obviously, there was fraud involved here, which hurt Skybridge, and so. I mean, these things get resolved over time. I think the good news for us is that hasn't affected us, has affected our ability to run the company. There's no economic preference to those shares. And so I'm confident that we'll be able to buy it back at some point. And we'll just take our time there. I appreciate you bringing it up. I feel like justice was served in that case. It'll be interesting to see what the sentencing is for Sam. But as a human being, I feel sad about it for him and for his parents and for the people that he defrauded.
Did you say he feels bad about it for him? What? No. Eat shit. He deserves it. He friggin' lost so much money. All right, let's get into this. Kucoin agrees to leave New York and pay $22 million to settle state lawsuit. CNBC Crypto World, guys. Shout out to them. Link is in the description below. If you guys are interested, hit that like button. Appreciate you all.
Today, Bitcoin and Ether continue to drop. Crypto exchange Kucoin reaches a settlement with New York State authorities, and Muneeb Ali, the CEO of Trust Machines, breaks down what to expect for the Bitcoin network in 2024. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. The rout continues for major cryptocurrencies. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin and Ether both dropped more than 1%, with Bitcoin trading around $41,300 and Ether trading close to $2,200. Polygon's Matic token, however, climbed more than 2%. Now, if we pivot over to Wall Street, major crypto-linked stocks were pulled down by this week's sell-off. If you look at MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Riot, and Marathon at 1 p.m. Eastern, they were all down between 6 and 13% this week. That comes amid a broader rally where all these stocks have risen by double digits since the beginning of December. Perfect. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Kucoin just reached a settlement with New York State authorities. The crypto exchange agreed to pay $5.3 million to the New York Attorney General. It will also shut down operations in the state, close accounts tied to New York residents, and pay back around $16.8 million in holdings to those customers. Now, these payouts will help the exchange settle allegations that it flouted securities laws by offering Ether, Luna, Terra, and more without registering.
How does that not kill that entire company or that entire exchange? That's crazy.
Next, the IRS wants FTX to pay
yeah, it's a nice belt for sure. Crypto KJ.
$24 billion in unpaid taxes, and the exchange claims that money would come from one source: victims. In a recent filing, FTX asked the court to deny the agency's demand, which originally stood at $43 billion before being revised down. The filing claims the IRS doesn't have a basis for its claim and that the liability would prevent most of FTX creditors, themselves victims of fraud, from obtaining any meaningful recovery. The filing also argues that in the company's 3 years of operation, it never earned enough to support the IRS's tax claim and instead incurred losses in the billions.
Yeah, well, the amount of donations they made, of course, it's a write-off, technically.
Last, CFTC Chair Russ Benham joined Squawk Box this morning, where he discussed the latest in crypto regulation and explained the distinction between how he and SEC Chair Gary Gensler think about digital assets.
It's a matter of what is the investor, what is the buyer of the tokens getting with its purchase of a token, whether it's Bitcoin, ETH, or anything else. And, I've said this very clearly. I've said it many times. I stick to what we have as the legal precedent and what we're seeing on our markets. And, under existing law, many of the tokens constitute commodities. And under this rubric, there is a gap in regulation, and I need Congress to step in.
Now, Benham said he and Gensler get along quite well
so
and have
creepy.
shared values and interests focused on protecting markets and customers. He also discussed the fate of Binance founder Changpeng Zhao and said CZ will be going to jail. You can check out his full interview over at CNBC.com. All right, for our main story, Crypto World's Jordan Smith spoke with Muneeb Ali, the CEO of Trust Machines, about how developers have changed to Bitcoin in 2023 and what to expect for the world's largest cryptocurrencies network in 2024.
When you spoke to my colleague Tanea McKeel in early summer, you spoke about adoption and where things sort of stood in the midst of the so-called crypto winter. And at the time, you made the point that Bitcoin hasn't really gone mainstream yet, not until it reaches, a few 100 million active users. You called that the next big step for the network. Here we are about 6 months away from that conversation, and we haven't reached that level of adoption per se, but where do things stand in terms of making progress in that regard, especially as we see trading activity pick back up for Bitcoin?
Yes. So I think we've seen Bitcoin go through these growth cycles, right? Like every 4 years, there's a growth cycle. A lot of like new users get to learn about Bitcoin, they get attracted to it, and so on. So I do think that this time around, we might be at a pretty interesting stage of the growth cycle, where if you cross like 100 million, 200 million active users, like that actually takes you mainstream. Right? And I don't think Bitcoin is mainstream yet, but it's growing like most technologies do. If you look at cell phones in early 2008, 2009, 2010, like Bitcoin is actually following a pretty similar growth trajectory. The interesting thing here is that with Bitcoin's growth, there's always this price. And I think in some ways, like when the price goes up, more people get intrigued. They want to sort of like learn more about it. And with the ETFs, there are two things that are happening. One is obviously the institutional capital that cannot directly invest in Bitcoin for various reasons. And I think they're sort of like been waiting on the sidelines for a while. It's just much easier for them to participate through an ETF. That's the obvious thing, I would say. But I think there's a second thing, which is that there are a lot of financial institutions that have been watching Bitcoin, they've been on the sidelines, they're a little bit scared, they don't really know should they go in or not, because it's a
Have they been on the sidelines though, or have they been buying and not telling anybody?
Sort of a reputational risk for them. And once they see the BlackRocks of the world who are moving ahead with their ETF, it just makes like their job a lot easier. And I think these other financial institutions can come in and they become the gateway to the next wave of users as well.
When you look at Bitcoin and sort of the selling point for adoption, I think if you look at 2021 and the beginning of 2022, it was really FOMO. Like people were buying in because they were so focused on the price, as you mentioned. But has the narrative of maybe what's most attractive for Bitcoin changed this year? What's the selling point to get people to buy in, especially to reach that idea of it going mainstream?
Yes, I think with Bitcoin, one thing I've seen is that the narrative or the story behind it is becoming sharper, is becoming cleaner. Like people are getting better at telling that story. Like 10 years ago when I started, I think people would describe Bitcoin as like so many different things. And over time it has sharpened. Now when I'm trying to educate some new person about Bitcoin, I just directly go to inflation. Like that is something that people are actually feeling in their everyday lives. If you ask them that, do you think your grocery bills are going up? And they go like, oh my God, yes, they are. And then you instantly connect with someone right there. And then you start explaining what a fixed asset is and what inflation is and how it's almost like a hidden tax on you that you don't even notice. And people just have that aha moment. And the analogy with gold actually works really well, that this is digital gold. It's a store of value. Whereas I believe that, of course, Bitcoin can do so many other things as well. Like it can be used for payments, especially with Bitcoin L2s that we will need for getting into like hundreds of millions of users. But sometimes like you don't even go there initially, right? You let people understand the fundamentals and then they go like, oh, it's open source technology. It's actually better rails for the planet and it can do a lot of good around the world. I think, but you need to walk them like step by step. And I would always start with inflation and the fact that it's a hard asset.
Yeah, you just mentioned that the idea and the focus of Bitcoin is becoming sharper, but I want to expand that a little bit and say from a developer perspective, but how has the network advanced this year? You mentioned L2s as an option. This notion that crypto winter is the time to build. You've had some use cases pop up for Bitcoin in 2023, like ordinals. But what would you say was the biggest advancement or the biggest expansion of use case for Bitcoin for the network this year?
Yeah, I think there has definitely been this culture in the industry that whenever a bear market hits, prices go down, a lot of people who were sort of like mercenaries chasing money, they sort of disappear, and the really mission-driven people are left. I think there is this culture that you go back to building. Like this is the time. I really look at this as growth phase, right? Like you saw one phase of growth that actually gave you some real data about where the pain points are, like where the infrastructure needs to improve. And then almost like you get a break. And it's a very welcome break, like personally for me and my team, that now you get to focus on upgrading the infrastructure, upgrading the UX of various things like wallets and so on. And we've used that because I think last time around, there was clear data that Bitcoin cannot really scale. I'm talking about 2017. And we saw efforts like Lightning, the Stacks project that I co-founded started then. And now with the last cycle, There was even like more clear data that what do users want and so on. But this time around, I think there was something happening where a lot of new applications and NFTs and stablecoins were actually happening on other networks. And we have always had this sort of like vision that all of these successful experiments from crypto would eventually come to Bitcoin in a more mature manner, because Bitcoin is the better asset, right? It's the more secure network. And then 2023, that theory sort of like turned into reality, right? We started seeing ordinals on Bitcoin L1, Bitcoin gas fees went up a lot. And that just shows demand and usage. Like people actually want Bitcoin. People actually want to do interesting things with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin usage can be high enough that it can sustain the security of Bitcoin over the long term as well. I think that's where Bitcoin L2s become extremely important. Like this is me looking into the future a little bit. Like we're already seeing that the L1 is getting congested. So the L2s are almost like you see a highway that's getting congested and you start building like new highways next to it, expecting demand, expecting users will come. They would want cheaper, faster ways to use their Bitcoin. And I think that's likely going to happen on Bitcoin L2s.
I want to end by talking about your outlook for 2024, not about price, but for the network itself. What are your expectations for next year in terms of adoption or pace of development? What should people be watching for Bitcoin?
Yes, I think the thing that I'm probably the most excited about is that the builder culture is getting a lot better. Like 2 years ago, I think there were smaller pockets like the Stacks project or Lightning and like some small subset areas where you would see developer traction. But the bulk of the industry was actually focused somewhere else. And I've actually seen that trend shift where a lot of well-established companies like Magic Eden and others, they're coming to Bitcoin, but also new developers. When they enter the industry, it's an expanding industry right now. They look at the options. Should I go build on Solana? Should I go build on Ethereum? Should I come to Bitcoin? And I think, frankly, Bitcoin was not even an option 2 years ago. Like, as I said, very small pockets of developers with Stacks and Lightning. But now it's a very serious option. Like people are looking at it. So I think in 2024, I would like to see Bitcoin sort of like emerge as a very serious player for applications. I would love to see stable coins on Bitcoin, like lending protocols take off directly on Bitcoin with BTC as the asset. I think if BTC is the pristine asset, people want to own it. They don't want to sell it, but they would love to take a loan against that for some liquidity without seeing the counterparty risk that we saw with BlockFi and all of the other players from the last cycle. So I think for me, 2024 sort of means that decentralized technology, decentralized applications, things like DEXs, they start coming to Bitcoin in a meaningful way, and we start seeing a ton of volume and a ton of users there.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today, but we'll be back again tomorrow.
Shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. All right, somebody asked in the chat what is going on with Kucoin. So Kucoin, they ended up, I don't think they're actually located in New York. I think they just got banned from New York as a whole, and they actually have to pay a $22 million fine. It was like a settlement that they came to an agreement on. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy is what it is. All right, let's get into videos. Let's see what Mr. Altcoin Daily had to say. Warning, the crypto market is about to get absurd. I watched a little bit of this, so let's see what he has to say here. Guys, that like button, appreciate you all. Sorry for asking, but unfortunately YouTube makes you. Let's do it.
2002, no one wanted to invest in internet companies or e-commerce, but broadband was getting lit up. Mobile devices were getting lit up. Rapid technology maturation. You're seeing that with this huge rally in Solana.
This crypto market is getting absolutely wild.
What is your real take?
This is Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire.
Digital commodities are here to stay.
Which is the company behind stablecoin USDC.
By the way, you're more in the currency camp in terms of what you do.
Talking about the potential of Solana.
We're seeing that with this huge rally in Solana.
But breaking news, Donald Trump just released mugshot NFTs on Polygon.
Hi, everyone. This is your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, with some very exciting news.
He is like, it's like, all right, I have nothing against Donald Trump. I don't care either way who is president, but just, it's funny as hell. Like the precedent of a president having his own merch just cracks me up. It really just cracks me up. It's a riot.
My last two Trump digital trading card collections sold out in just hours. And now I'm back with my latest series called the Mugshot Edition. I wonder where that came from. Mugshot Edition.
As described by Trump, just like baseball cards, but you collect them digitally, and each
A mugshot NFT collection. That's a riot.
Trump digital trading card is $99 USD, plus the low transaction fee required to interact with the Polygon blockchain. And Trump's trying to sell a lot of...
Do you guys imagine having that much money that you could like just turn into president and then just like do whatever the F you want? It's so ridiculous.
Polygon NFTs.
And here is the best
So
part.
funny.
I'm doing two important things for my Trump collectors. For the first time, we're creating a real physical Trump card. Purchase 47 digital cards and we'll mail you a beautiful trading card. It is an authentic piece of the suit I wore when I took that now famous mugshot.
Look at his face.
And it was a great suit, believe me, a really good suit.
They cut up his suit. They cut it up.
It's all cut up and you're gonna get a piece of it. I'll be autographing some of them.
I bet that's some bullshit, by the way. No way. They just took a piece of jean or something.
A true collector's item. This is
That's funny as
something
hell.
to give to your family.
So Polygon hodlers are loving this today, but this
That's
is
so
also
funny.
just as good for Ethereum.
Some people call these cards pop art or modern art. I wish I looked as good as I do on those cards. That I can tell you. They give me muscles where, believe me, I don't have them.
So Trump continues to back Polygon. BlackRock continues to prepare for Bitcoin.
that's funny.
BlackRock Bitcoin ETF now invites participants from Wall Street banks. So a change to the structure of the proposed spot Bitcoin ETF would enable authorized participants, APs, to create new shares in the fund with cash rather than only with cryptocurrency, essentially opening the door to banks who cannot hold crypto directly. And the reason that this is so much bigger than many people realize, as highly regulated US banks are unable to hold Bitcoin themselves, this setup would enable the likes of JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, firms with some of the largest balance sheets in the world, to act as APs to BlackRock's ETF. And that cash would directly be converted into Bitcoin. The cash APs use in this process can then be exchanged into Bitcoin by an intermediary and warehoused by the ETF's custody provider. And how should traditional finance really be looking at Bitcoin?
You know, real quick, those NFT like cards or whatever that Trump's doing now, wasn't that like a huge thing with they were talking about Pokemon cards in the what is it, the congressional, what was it? Was it a congressional hearing? Is that what they call it? I think that's what it was. They were talking about that and like, is that a security and all this stuff. So I wonder how they'll turn that around. It'll bite Donald in the ass for sure.
The extent that we should be looking at Bitcoin as a barometer of risk on, risk off, if you think of it as a speculative asset, I don't know what you think of it as anymore, but we show it on the screen every single day because there's a lot of ownership of it around the world. There's a lot of interest in it around the world. What do you think it's an indicator of?
Sure. So a couple things. So the first is digital commodities are here to stay. And that's just, we have this new thing, digital commodities, they're here to stay. And they will be valued differently. Gold is differently valued than oil, is differently valued than copper, right? So there will be these digital commodities.
Well, that's because there's different scarcities.
Bitcoin specifically is the sort of largest digital commodity asset. Right. And I think in the minds of many of the people who are investing in it, this is a risk hedge asset. It can be correlated to availability of money supply, but it also can be uncorrelated. So it doesn't fit every box clearly. And I think you're hearing from sovereigns, from the Ray Dalios of the world, the Larry Finks of the world, others, that they believe that in a complex geopolitical environment, a complex macroeconomic environment, this is an asset that one should have some exposure.
But we should not think of it as a currency.
And like always for me, Bitcoin to me is much more of an investment, a store of value. I don't want to spend, but I will spend my stable coins.
I mean, by the way, you're more in the currency camp in terms of what you do.
Correct, yes. So digital dollars that can be a strong store of value medium of exchange that have all the powers of the internet. That's what dollar stablecoins do. Huge innovation. I expect to be explosive in terms of its growth in the coming years. Just a huge utility for dollars on the internet, huge appetite for dollars on the internet. That's a very big thing. And that's distinct from people who want a a currency hedge, so to speak, or a store of value hedge.
But for my crypto into 2024, is regulation getting better?
So a couple things. The first is global versus US. In every major financial market center around the world, they're actually putting in place clear regulations on digital assets and stablecoins. So Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan, the UK, the EU, UAE, like you go these places and they actually are doing it. And so the US is behind. I think that's one. In the US, you've got really three big bodies of policy issues. You have markets and how to regulate markets, and there you've got a territorial turf war going on and some kind of political posturing. And then you've got stablecoins. Everyone seems to agree about stablecoins. It's just a matter of when, not if. And then you have this sort of illicit finance stuff, which has become obviously...
That's what Elizabeth Warren
Warren, a very bipartisan kind of issue there. And those are the three big policy kind of components. Now, with respect to markets, which is, I think, that the thing that attracts the most attention, there is a fundamental disagreement between one particular agency and some of the other agencies and Congress.
The SEC and the CFTC, and I asked because we've got Russ Benham coming on.
The SEC, the CFTC, and then obviously Congress and the courts. And the beauty of the U.S. system is we have all three branches, and they're all kind of trying to figure out how to work that out.
And then finally, Solana hodlers are loving this.
Real quick, I just put a poll in the chat. Somebody asked me to Bitcoin up or down by the halving. I said more than 45K for the top option, 40K for the one right below that, 35K, or the low at 25K-ish. Let me know what you guys think.
Jeremy Allaire, Circle CEO, compares what Solana is doing today, the innovation, to what Amazon was doing in 2002.
A lot of stuff was being built, right? So you had major financial institutions building away at trying to create institutional investment platforms like BlackRock and Fidelity and others. You had very significant investments continuing in the actual infrastructure side of this. So it's sort of like after the dot-com bust, you had, 2002, no one wanted to invest in internet companies or e-commerce, but broadband was getting lit up, mobile devices were getting lit up, all the infrastructure was getting there, so that actually the technology became highly usable and useful. And so I think a number of things are happening right now. We're seeing rapid technology maturation. You're seeing that with this huge rally in Solana, which, if you're not familiar, is sort of makes using blockchains fast and relatively easy. You have this institutionalization and the clarity that comes from that.
And real quick, the final two pieces of altcoin news that I found today, although if I missed something, comment down below. Number one, Celestia. Celestia to integrate with Polygon's CDK for data availability in 2024. What that means is the Celestia network will integrate with Polygon's Chain Development Kit, CDK, sometime early next year. The integration will provide an easily pluggable component for Polygon-based networks to use Celestia for data availability. And although this is a win-win, this will truly benefit the Polygon network. The announcement claimed that transaction fees could be reduced by more than 100 times if networks stored compressed transaction data on Celestia instead of Ethereum. And also, big altcoin news, honored to receive the Best SocialFi Project 2023.
He shills this XCAD network, so...
Indian Blockchain Week,
take it with a grain of salt.
So the XCAD network just received this award. The Zilliqa team congratulating. And the reason is because XCAD is about to launch their friend tech competitor very soon. Be sure to subscribe for one video.
Who knows what that is? Shout out to Altcoin Daily. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's check out this poll real quick. Bitcoin up or down by the halving? Man, you guys, so we have more than 45% of you, right? I mean, sorry. Yeah, it is 45%, literally 45%, say more than 45K. We have 20% at 40K, 23% at 35K, and low, 25K-ish, 13%. Interesting. So you guys think it's going to be more than 45K by the halving? It's, I agree, because buy the rumor, sell the news type deal. I think it would be close to that, or if not more. But who knows how fast or how far it'll actually go. I think it'll float or close. It'll probably be close to where it's at right now, to be honest. Maybe a little bit of a bump, close to 45. I don't think it's gonna go too crazy, but usually it takes about a year after the halving for that to actually come to fruition, right? All right, let's see. Let's do some recap stuff. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's see, what do we got for? Let's check out the honey token, because honey was on a freaking tear yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it. It went up to like 30 something cents. It was freaking nuts. Check out the 7-day real quick. Look at this. Look at this. 37 cents honey went up to. This is the Hivemapper, if you guys don't know. Links in the description below if you guys are interested. But freaking Matt Electron, man, like back here, I think it was like 18 cents or something, and he made like $1 grand in a day. It was absurd. So I can't wait to see what my payout is this week, because I drove around for like 3 hours, like 3 different days, or 2 different days. Actually, no, yeah, it was 3 days. 3 days I drove around for just about an hour each day, and I want to see what I get paid out. So that'll be a very interesting thing. Let's see. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Let's see. If you guys have any questions, again, just try to tag me if you can. Did we already talk about Kucoin? Late AF, but not late. Yeah, so Kucoin, basically, they are no longer allowed in New York. They are banned from the state, and they also came to an agreement settlement of let's see, 22 million. I can look it up. I'm not mistaken. Where is it? Right here. Kucoin agrees to ban New York residents. Okay, so they ban New York residents. That's what it is, right? And then they pay $22 million in a settlement. So, as you can see, crypto exchange Kucoin has agreed to pay $22 million to the state of New York and to bar state residents from using its platform, according to the stipulation and consent order filed in the New York Supreme Court on December 12th. And they also have to, everybody that's in Kucoin right now that's from New York, I think it's like $16 million or something. I could be wrong. Let me see, hold on. It restricted withdrawals from non-verified accounts to less than 5 Bitcoin approximately, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think it's like, I forget where I saw it or heard it. I think it was like 16 million maybe that they have to refund to New York people, everybody that has like an account over there that are from New York. So that kind of sucks. That's real shitty, but it is what it is. I mean, I never use Kucoin, to be honest, but yeah, who knows. Let's see. Kucoin, they have their own token, huh? It looks like it's dropped 2.7%, 13.7. Let's see. Let's check out the 7-day just for shits. You know, that's kind of interesting, actually. It had quite the run up the last 7 days, even though they got smacked with a fine. Huh, that's kind of neat. $6 all the way up to, what's it up? This is a month ago, up to about $13. That's crazy. All right, let's see. A guy was arrested for trying to go after, I don't know what you're trying to say. Game with Smokey Dan. Did you say Vitalik? You said Vivek. I don't know what that is. I apologize. Game with Smokey Dan. Did you hear about what happened to the president candidate meeting in New Hampshire yesterday, and the event you were asking in Discord about not showing up? I am so lost. No, I didn't. What happened? He's a politician. Oh, really? I don't even know. Is it Vivek? Let me see. Let's see. All right, you guys stare at my face. Let me Google this. Let me see what I can find. I didn't hear about this though. Let's see. Let's see. Was it New Hampshire? Man charged with, oh, dude, I saw something about this. This guy. That's right. Ramaswamy or whatever. How do you say his first name? Is it Vivek? I don't even know. But New Hampshire man faces federal charge after allegedly sending text messages threatening to attack Republican candidates event. Wow. A man from the Dover, New Hampshire faces federal criminal charges after threatening the Republican presidential candidate Ramaswamy and attendees at the campaign event. The U.S. Attorney's Office for New Hampshire said Tyler Anderson, 30, received a text message from the victim's campaign notifying him of a political event in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That's not that far from me, actually. Anderson responded to the text message on the 8th of December 2023, stating, "Great, another opportunity for me to blow his brains out, and I'm going to kill everyone who attended, and then their corpses." What the hell? What? Who says that? That's messed up. The federal release did not name the candidate or say when the event was, but charging documents identified a breakfast meeting on Monday. Wow. A time where Ramaswamy was scheduled to stage such an event in the state. That's crazy. Yeah, you know what? I actually saw something about this. It was like a former FBI guy telling him to be careful, this guy. Because he's playing both sides. He's playing both sides. And yeah. I don't know. He could get himself in some knee-deep shit, to be honest. So yeah. There's people that could shut you up real quick. That's yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Anyways, again, let's look at Carlson again. For anybody that's GPU mining, if you guys have any other questions, please feel free. Up 17.1% today. It's almost 9 cents again. So to be honest, what is that actually? 9 cents. I think Kaspa was like 12. So roughly this is around like the price of Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin's like 9 cents. So it's a pretty easy unmineable swap right over to, you know, 1 for 1 or close to 1 for 1. That's kind of what I like to do with these this Carlson coin, because I'm not going to hold it. It's not a long-term hold for me. Oh, Sia coin, friggin' power mines. I think you only like Sia because that's the only little box miner you get, but it has been on a tear. It has had a little bit. It's almost a penny, but they can't be that profitable. These things, man, I don't know. These things really just aren't for me, to be honest. But let's see. Had a bit of a run up, 0.004, so it's about double from where it was, right? Close to. Let's see. I wanna see what we got. HS box, is that what it's called? HS box. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Is that even what it's called? What's it called? Definitely not that. What's it called? A little HS box. Mine, the ASIC doesn't show. See a coin. I wonder why. Let's see. God, what's that video? What's that? Is it ASIC miner value? Is that what it is? Wow, if I could type. Is it ASIC miner value? It is. All right, let's see. Man, I haven't used this site in forever. HS box, is it right here? 7 cents a day. So you're making 7 cents a day. What's your electric? Power mines. Where is the electric here? How do you change electric? No, leave me alone. Damn ads. All right, where is the electric rate? How do I change that? Can I change it? Oh, it's up here. Duh. What do you have? Power mines. What's your electric, buddy? It's making 76 coins or 51 a day before power at 10 cents. Yeah, if you have 10 cent power, let's just see. 13 cents. 13 cents. You're making profit wise, but income a day is 44 cents. That's what it says. What's power mines? What's your thing? Let me see. What else? 13 cents, but it's getting more hash rate than what they're showing. Yeah, it'll get a little bit more for sure. What's your, oh, you said 13? Is that your rate? 13? Because after electric, bro, you're only getting 4 cents. $1 a month. I'm pretty sure I could find that at Walmart parking lot. It's just on the ground. I don't know. I like, you know what? I don't want to hate on anybody. It's this thing. These things are okay, but they're not worth what they're charging. What are they even charging for them anymore? Gold shell? Let's see. Gold shell. I haven't been to this site in forever. Gold shell. They still even sell them? I don't even know. How do you search? Box miners, I guess. SC with $400? Absolutely not. SC2? Oh no, it's right here. 99 bucks. Oh, that's pretty cheap then. That's pretty cheap. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's still 100-day ROI or ROII, like Mr. Max Voltage would say, right? So that kind of, I mean, it's a little less painful. You're only paying $100 for this thing for sure. Would I do it? No, I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't buy it, to be honest, but that's just me. That's just me. I don't know. I mean, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Let's check out the max on this thing. Holy shit. This thing got to run up to 8 cents almost. Or over 8 cents, it says. It says 9 cents here. Damn, all-time high. I don't know if this is actually accurate. CoinGecko is kind of a little tough when it comes to charts and stuff, but see, like, I don't know. Draw a line from here to here. Where is it going to come up? Maybe 2 cents ish. Next run, 2 cents if it doesn't break the trend, the downtrend that it's in, right? From the peaks. You're probably looking at about 2 cents ish, maybe. So, I mean, maybe it's a hold, you know, maybe we'll see. It's 769 day. Oh, is it really? What? 769 day ROI on that thing? Oh, I was just thinking $100. 769. How'd you get that? 769. Let me see. Well, actually, yeah, no, you're right. You are right. Because you're only getting that for a profit. That's so right. Yeah, just buy the coin, bro. Just put $100 on the coin. Don't buy the miner. I'm not like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, it's not worth it. I wouldn't buy this. I would just buy the coin. 100% agree with Patrick Murphy. Yeah. Yeah, power mines, just buy another coin, bro. Don't even bother with the freaking machine. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. If you just buy it and hold it. That's what I would do. Because then on top, like, you're not spending, you know, if you take the $100, what are you gonna get? Let's where are we going? Mining pool stats. Let's see. Mining pool stats, go to SIA. Scroll down. Where is it actually? Where's the calculator? Do they have it? I don't have a calculator on this one. I'm wrong. Well, they usually do. Well, they used to. No calculator, huh? Okay. Well, never mind. There goes that. There goes that thought. Yeah, man, I would just buy the coin. I would just buy the coin, to be honest. I won the machine for free. Yeah, dude, just keep that. I wouldn't go for buying anymore, to be honest. Crypto KJ, they were giving them away a few weeks back. Just pay postage. Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Let's see what the holiday sales are, though, real quick. KD box. This is another. Oh, Kadena. How's Kadena doing, man? I haven't heard of Kadena in a while. KD, yeah, I gotta get out of here in a minute, guys, by the way. Kadena, 68 cents. Let's see. Let's go to the 180. Kadena, 74 from, I mean, it's really nothing crazy. Actually, let's go to max. Let's see. If Panda held to right here, he would have been a millionaire. Just saying. Panda sold all his Kadena, like right here. That's terrible. Would have been a millionaire. For sure. I just wanted to bring that up. But no, Kadena, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't know if that's worth purchasing. But the mini Doge 2. What's the mini Doge 2 getting? Let's even see. Mini Doge. Is it on here? Mini Doge 2, 650 mega hashes. Is that what it is? I assume. Let's see. Does it say? Doesn't say. I'm assuming that's it, though. I would assume that's it. Where was I? 220 watts. Man, losing money every day. But I mean, this is obviously with the price of Dogecoin being total shit. I mean, that's at 10 cents though. You ain't making money unless it's at 6 cents, and then you're breaking even. So you're better off just spending $500 on Dogecoin, to be honest. just being real. Just buy the Dogecoin. They have the 3 mini Doges now. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. I appreciate you all. You're all fantastic. Sorry that I have to get out of here, unfortunately. Gotta get back to daddy duty. You know how that goes. So guys, have a good day. Happy hump day. Hopefully you have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in between that. And until then, I'll catch you guys soon. Peace out. Have a good one, guys. If you didn't see my video yesterday, by the way, go check it out. Peace.
this hash rate's going bonkers.